A very good afternoon once again. Welcome to another Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort Park update today. You may have seen by the thumbnail how it says she's back. That's because the Grand National has reopened for the first time in 2025 today on the 27th of June 2025, Friday the 27th of June. So yeah, the big one is noisy big one going past. So yeah, the Grand National is back open for the first time this year after receiving extensive maintenance towards the end of last year and the majority of the 2025 season, ready for its 90th birthday this year. But of course we're going to be doing a full park update as per usual, starting here in the tunnel, showing the latest demolition sites on Avictus. And you can see straight away here they've actually got the gates open because they are actually working in here, so they're knocking more of the building down. So yeah, it's good how the gates are open, so we get a very good and clear view straight into the site. Moving round to look at the Grand National, see how busy the queue is, how many trains it's on, presumably just two like we've been seeing for the past few weeks, how it's the blue and purple. Move over to the former Grand Prix Helix area, which is now going to be a nice garden area, and see what we can see around there. But yeah, the gates are open here for Avictus. So yeah, we'll crack on with this update today, see what we can get. So I just had a nice chat with actually one of the construction workers, very nice chap, didn't catch his name, but yeah, he's telling me how much of a struggle it's actually been to knock the Planet Rock building and Bowl-a-Drome building down. They've had to do it in certain sections. There's been quite a lot of disruptions during the demolition as well, a little bit of hiccups that have thrown them, but yeah, they managed to knock it down as fast as they can. And he said that they're currently in the process of removing all the flooring, which is where the digger is currently. They're currently in the process of removing all the flooring down there, which apparently that's been a right bugger at the minute. And he said as well the final bits to come down will be the wall you can see here on the far left where the lamppost is, and then these four steel girders, they're going to be some of the last things to be removed as well. But yeah, he's saying it's been quite a struggle over the past week or so trying to remove certain sections and stuff like that, because I didn't actually realise how much girders and steelwork there actually was holding both buildings up. But yeah, they said as well that it's been quite fun as well. And he also mentioned that they were the same team who knocked down the Grand Prix Helix as well, and a few other sites within Blackpool as well. Like there's a old police station up near Blackpool Tower, they're also the team knocking that down as well, which is quite interesting to know. But yeah, you can clearly see as well where the digger is. All that section now has been fully removed. We did have a few little sections still remaining from last week, like the odd concrete pillar and stuff like that, but yeah, that's all been removed this past week. And as I said, the chap did tell me that they're currently in the process of removing the floor, and right down there to the far end where the blue container is, and then the last few sections will be this on the far left. Either big one's got very fast operations today, or it's on two trains, because it's coming out pretty swiftly, these trains on the big one. But yeah, quite a nice chap, as I say, chatting to you from the construction team. So we'll just have one final look here from the far left angle I can see. So yeah, the guy said to me that the last few things are going to knock down is that wall there, and potentially those cabins in the back as well, but they are removing the flooring currently. And he also said it's quite a pain in a minute because of the height clearance in the tunnel. It's quite hard for them to get skipped in and out of the site on the back of lorries due to the height restrictions and stuff like that, so they're not actually able to clear the site as quickly as they can, so then it delays them knocking further stuff down as well. So yeah, we still have all this equipment here, like the former roofing and flooring, that's all still on the floor here. They said that should have been gone a few weeks ago, but again, because of delays and the height restrictions here in the tunnel, that's pushed them back a little bit. So hopefully it won't push the actual vertical construction and ground work needed for Avictus. But yeah, the demolition progress, according to the workers, they are having a few challenges at the minute, which isn't good to hear, but at the same time they have done well for what they've done so far. They said the easiest part was knocking down the white dome that was here. He said that was quite an easy task to do because it was quite hollow and not a lot of stuff holding it up. But yeah, the Bowl-a-Drome has been quite a challenge knocking that down recently as well. But yeah, as soon as more of this demolition happens, of course I'll be showing more of it here on the channel, and hopefully might get another update from the worker who I talked to as well. So yeah, very nice chap, as I say. Wasn't afraid of holding anything back really, saying what they've done, saying what the challenges were. And yeah, he said like I said before, they were the same teams knocked down the Grand Prix when that came to be knocked down, which is quite interesting. And he said that one was quite fun to knock down as well. So yeah, done quite a lot of work at the park across the years, he said. There you go, there's another train with a big one, so it must be on 2 trains. It's just good to see more of the view over towards River Caves, actually Grand National Station. The camera won't pick it up, but I can see people queuing in there, so yeah, it's good to see the ride open. And of course more views opening up across the rest of the North Park here, which is good to see. So yeah, more Demolition will of course be taking place come next week. The guys have just gone home for the day. It's about 2:30 now. They've all done for the week. Nice time to relax on the weekend now. I'm back in first thing Monday morning. They said to hopefully knock some more down, unless there's more challenges ahead for the next few weeks. So yeah, we'll head inside the park now to have a look around at Grand National and other little bits and bobs around the park. This is your current look though here from the Avictus Demolition site as of the 27th of June. So just like that, we've transitioned from the Avictus Bowl-a-Drome area site here into the park where the Grand National is. Of course, there's not going to be as many, if any, updates going forward now because we've had another park project ticked off. We had Launchpad, of course, earlier in the year in May that opened up, the former Ice Blast attraction. That was, of course, shut for the entirety of last year and a bit of this year as it got transformed into Launchpad this year. And then of course we had Grand National, which closed early last year in 2024 and closed throughout the majority of this year, 2025 season, as it underwent, I should say, a very big maintenance period with new drive motors for the lift hill, new bits of chain, bits of track replacement, painting that we've been showing a lot here in the station areas. And of course it was good to start seeing the trains returning. We've got blue on this side, purple on the other side. Not too sure where red and green is, they're not here yet. Whether they will return at all this season, not entirely sure. Yeah, we've got quite a big queue here for the Grand National on the opening day. Stretching right out there to the pathway. We've got a train up here loaded and ready to go. And I will be heading on there very shortly to see if they made it any smoother or not. If it's still the same raucous ride as it's always been. So yeah, just waiting now for the train there to depart to show a little shot of it going away. But yeah, good to see the Grand National here finally back open. That now technically makes North Park all back to normal now, thanks to having this ride back and of course Launchpad back. All rides in North Park are now back open, except obviously River Cave, but we know that's having another project on that one as well, with restoration works happening on that, and over Avictus on the opposite side for demolition works. So yeah, this part of North Park anyway is back to normal. Good to see a full train there. There goes the other one on the other side. Grand National finally back open. So just come off my very first ride on the Grand National for the 2025 season after the extended maintenance period that the ride had, and I'm pleased to say that the ride is running really well. Yes, it's a little bit slower today for its first proper day, but the rest of the ride is still as raucous, still as fun, and indeed much smoother now, especially down on the second lot of double downs. The ride has 2 lots of double downs for the drops. So the very first drop, and then later on in the layout there is a second lot of double downs, and that lot is really smooth now. They've done a lot of retracking work there, and you wouldn't even know that it is a double down because it's that smooth. The train is like glass smooth over that. It is wood, it's not like it's got any steel in it like some wooden coasters now and put steel track in it. It is all still wood. But yeah, it's running really smooth in that section on the second double down, and you can notice a few other little sections the ride's running smoother as well. I was on the blue train, so I'll have to give it a go on the purple train, see if it's just the same on that one. But yeah, the blue train was running really well, really smooth, and good to see all the work taking place. You can kind of tell they've put a new motor on the lift hill. It's going on the lift hill just a little bit slower than what it used to, but only marginally. Most people wouldn't notice it. Bits of work that the guests will notice is that retracking section about halfway around the ride, just after the Valentine's and the canal turn. They've retracked a lot of the sections around there, which is good to see, especially, like I say, on that second double down. So yeah, good to see the Grand National back open, completed for 2025, and I'm sure it will be here for many more years now, filling more guests. I did ask one of the staff members in the station, will red train and green train be back at all this year? And he said definitely not. He said from what they believe, they're only going to be allowed to operate 2 trains this year, because red and green are getting an extensive strip down and checks, and then apparently next year it might be the same with blue and purple. So yeah, it could be what I said a few weeks ago about train rotations, how they'll keep these 2 on this year, and then next year these will be taken off and swapped with red and green, and vice versa. So yeah, maybe never see 4 trains on the Grand National ever again, but I really do hope so, especially on the summer busy days, because this ride does get a massive queue when it's only running 2 trains. But at the minute now, all the wooden coasters are technically on reduced capacity. We have this on 2 trains, like 1 set of trains. We have Big Dipper on 1 train. Yes, it does have 2 working operational trains, but only use 1 at a time. And of course Streak, Nickelodeon Streak on 1 train, but again obviously that only has 1 train anyway. So yeah, all the wooden coasters on reduced capacity. So yeah, if you're coming to the park, I would recommend hitting the wooden coasters potentially first before they get big queues. There goes the blue train, off again. Very good to see. We also see some sandbags here on the maintenance track. Apparently they did have some sandbags in this morning, as the ride was running extremely slow. And it was on BBC Breakfast News this morning as well, the Grand National, about 5 to 7 this morning, with Andy Highgate and some other people also on board the train. So yeah, marking the official reopening day for the Grand National ahead of its 90th birthday. So yeah, it's good to see the ride, as I say, back open after its long time away, getting work done to it for so long. So like I said, we're still on the other side. We've had Launchpad, that's all done for this year. Grand National, that's also done for this year. So yeah, the focus now will turn over to the new gardens area at the Grand Prix, and of course Demolition site. When that's completed, getting Avictus up and running, up and ready for next year, next May I'm guessing, when that one is. So yeah, the next shots now, I'll probably show over the Demolition site again from inside the park. If not, it'll be straight down to the gardens area. Welcome back, Grand National. There goes the big one. And of course that view there, where Infusion and the big one is, that view will drastically change next year, as we all know, with Avictus being built. The massive 138 foot tall gyro swing going to be stood right there. You can just see more demolition that's taken place in the former site of the Bowl-a-Drome, just in the centre of your screen. To the right of that Teddy stand, you can see one of the walls, the far wall on the car park side for the Bowl-a-Drome, all still intact there. But everything on this side, the park side and the catering side, has all been removed, and we saw from inside the tunnel how much of the site is getting more cleared out as well. And they also mentioned within the tunnel how it's been quite a challenge for the construction and demolition team in there to actually knock both buildings down, especially with the amount of structure, amount of materials that they've come across, bits of delays, like I said, trying to get skips in the site because of the height restrictions on the tunnel itself. But yeah, they have done well to get the majority of the building down, and you can see, as I say, just the outer section there intact. I will head over to the Grand National, see if we can see anything else, but from here you can clearly see they've done quite a good job. So I'm going to actually gloss over having a look at the Bowl-a-Drome demolition area from inside the park, because you can't see anything. I showed obviously a lot of it last week from inside the park, and I've showed you quite a bit today as well from inside the tunnel, showing you good views when the gate was open, and also showing how little of the building is remaining as well. So yeah, we're going to jump straight over to the Grand Prix, starting here in the former station area, all still intact. The old Formula 1 cars here, the actual station area, the track, you can see the running rail down there. It does look a bit grotty, doesn't it? Like really run down, and leaves and rubbish everywhere. Of course it's going to be, because obviously it's a disused ride now, but yeah, you can see the centre rail all still here. That's where the cars would come in. queue line console all over there, and then the cars would go back out that way. As I say, they've obviously kept the station building here for a reason, so are we going to see something here in its place in the future? Like I keep saying, that Mack powered coaster, or another coaster of its type, but use this station, the queue line, because you might as well reuse the same infrastructure if there's nothing wrong with it. Just obviously have to remove the Grand Prix track when that time comes. But yeah, we'll just head up around the corner, just basically through the archway there, and have an update on the gardens area, see how it's looking from around there. So if I was to just show this little section here, you wouldn't actually think we're in Pleasure Beach, but we still are. We're showing you the former Helix area, now fully engulfed in grass. It's that much so that they've had to, looks like, do their first cut ever on this bit of grass. They have done a little bit of grass trimming down here, because this little bit down here towards the bridge area was a little bit of like, it had gone like a wild section. It was all overgrown and everything, and then this little section now is all starting to come through. Same with the other side of the fountain over there, and of course we had a sprinkler down here last week as well. That section's all starting to come through now. Little bits of grass here and there still to come through, but the majority is all starting to grow through as well. More pathways still going in as well. The crews are currently, you can just see a man there, are currently raking more stones down. Whether this is going to be the actual pathways you walk on, or it's going to be like tarmac on top of that, I'm not too sure. But yeah, the gardens area are coming along nicely, and if I just keep it in the centre there, you've got the blue fountain, the green grass, and the pathways all the way around. It actually looks quite nice, to be fair. Better than what used to be here anyway, the Grand Prix. And of course we've got some new plant pots going in here, it looks like, as well. Going to be lining this bit here, so we've got new planters that'll be going in here. Whether it's going to be the same all the way around, I'm not too entirely sure. But yeah, lots of plant pots here waiting on plants as well. Just next to where the Icon Fast Pass queue is, you can see straight down there as well. But yeah, especially that section of grass there has grown quite well. And just pan over the rest of the site. Just look how good it looks, especially with that blue fountain in the middle. So yeah, the staff are down there, you can see, shoveling types of stones and stuff, and then planting them all in the pathways. You can see them in a little bit there, a little bit of a darker section. As I say, I don't know if that's what you're going to be walking on, sort of like stones or something, or it's going to be walking on tarmac as well on top of that. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, good to see a lot of the grassways are fully grown, especially this section here, that they've actually had to cut it because it's got that wild over the last few weeks. And also, on a happier note as well, it's good to see the Avalanche finally back on 2 trains. I mean, look at that, we've got one now on the brakes, and you can just see the second one just leaving the station then. Finally, the Avalanche is now back on 2 trains. A ride that has a woeful capacity, sometimes at least 7 at a go, because you don't have to sit together. It's good to see it now back on 2 trains. Yeah, we'll see that one go in there, and then you'll see another one coming down the layout in just a second. So yeah, finally good to see that ride back on 2 trains. Still nothing on the Big Dipper, that's still running its 1 train wonder over there, even though it does have 2 serviceable 2 trains. But yeah, we're halfway there. It's like baby steps. Get this one back on 2, and then maybe eventually they'll realise Dipper can actually run 2 trains. But yeah, you can maybe hear the Avalanche going up on its anti-roll back, and you'll definitely see it coming down the layout in just a second. There you can actually see them chucking more stones there into the wheelbarrow, and then raking it out, getting it all level for potentially something else to go on top of it. I just can't get over how much that grass has grown, to be fair. There you go, you can see that other train for Avalanche now coming down. So yeah, 2 train operations on the Avalanche, which is good to see. Show more gardens down here again. There you go, they're raking more of it out now, getting it all levelled, so when it comes to put something else on top of it, it won't be all an uneven surface. So yeah, like I just mentioned about the Big Dipper only having 1 train, you can see there it clearly does have 2 trains, one leaving here one parked on the side just over there, but for whatever reason they just don't use 2 trains. Obviously today not needed because it's quiet, but even on the extremely busy days they just don't use 2 trains anymore, which is a real shame, because when this ride does have and uses 2 trains it can really hammer through a queue. But yeah, Dipper does have 2, it just doesn't use it. But like I say, with Avalanche, it's good to see that one now back on 2 trains. May as well show you a ground view here of all the grass, effectively, all this grassway that has now fully grown, and some of the new planters there that ready for when plants come on site, and the chap there in the background raking out and getting the gravel all lowered and level. But yeah, I can't get over how well this grass has grown over the past few weeks and months, especially this section here that they've actually had to chop because it was getting that high and that sort of like a wild section. But yeah, all the other sections you can see all the way around the fountain are starting to grow through. Not as wild as this section here, but yeah, they are starting to grow through, and will eventually be one big grassy area, sit down relaxation area, basically an expansion of the sensory garden, which is good to see, and definitely improvement from the Grand Prix Helix area. I mean, yes, you can still see up there it says please slow down where the cars used to go in, but there's no evidence now of a ride being here, which is good to see. Let's just hope in the future though something does actually replace the Grand Prix in this site, but for now the gardens area is looking good and I'll take it. So if you can guess from the view and the noise in the background, you can tell I'm in what was the former carousel area. I'm actually stood where the carousel was. You can see the different coloured shades of paint on the grounds where the carousel was, the console box way over there, and well, with the organ, we did wonder when the ride was removed would the organ stay, and yep, the organ has stayed. It is playing music as you can hear, but it isn't the organ, it's the speakers next to it sadly, so I don't know whether the organ works or not. But yeah, it's not producing any music, the organ, it's actually a recording on these 2 speakers on each end of it. But yeah, it's good to see the organ is still here from the former carousel. It's just a shame it's not actually on and playing the music, it's just a recording, as I say, on the speaker system that the building still has. But yeah, organ is all still intact, it's still here from the former carousel that used to be in this actual building. It's good to see, obviously, people leaving the litter, that's not a good thing to see. But yeah, they just repurposed it for now, chairs and tables, a little bit of background music, and obviously views of steeplechase in the background, big one when that's going around. And yeah, make it just a bit more like an open space in the park, people to sit down, have some food, especially on a rainy day. But yeah, just a shame that the music isn't actually the organ, it's just the speakers on each end of it. Hopefully the organ does work and we can see that actually back up and running again very soon. So it's come towards the end of this Pleasure Beach update from Friday the 27th of June. Good to see the Grand National just here, finally back open to the public after its extended maintenance period, receiving lots of retracking pieces around the ride's layout, obviously painting. Of course, it's also received new bits of chain, like lift-hill chain, and a new motor to take the trains up 60 feet up into the sky. But yeah, the main highlight from the ride is that retracking section. That is just after the canal turn on the second lot of double downs. They are glass smooth now. You almost don't think you want a wooden coaster, it's that smooth. Of course, we showed the latest demolition works from the Bowl-a-Drome with the Avictus site being from inside the tunnel. That was good to see how much more progress they've done, just a very small section of building now remaining, and also good to see more progress on the new gardens area where the Grand Prix Helix used to be. Good to see how much grass has grown in that area, and good to see that the pathways looks like they're nearing completion. So yeah, as I said near the start of the video, we've had Launchpad here, that project's all done, reopened up in May. We've had the Grand National project here, opened up today in June. And of course now the move over, finish off the gardens area. That'll probably be the final project for this year. And then next year, of course, we have Avictus, and then potentially River Caves. If not next year, it'll be 2027. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this update today. If you have, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future Pleasure Beach updates. And I'll of course be back with more when more things change at the park. See you all again very soon.
Experience first